Welcome back to the Mainstage. Today my guest is Susie De Guisti with TGIF, Towards Gainful Infinite Freedom. In today's episode, we talked about how to create a positive impact through speaking. We get into some incredible tools, so let's jump right in. Welcome to the Mainstage, where strategy meets dynamic growth. I'm your host, Meagan Fettes. And together, we're gonna embark on this enriching journey through the realms of business, of speaking, making sales from the stage, and uncovering the secrets behind sustainable success as a speaker. Welcome, Susie. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
We're gonna have a lot of fun during our episodes here. The first thing that I always like to start with is, what inspired you to start speaking in the first place?
The inspiration comes from the fact that not all women, or not everyone out there wants to be coached or have a coach. Yet there are many women out there that will attend certain events because they want to hear a story that will touch their soul, or they want to hear something that's going to inspire them. And I thought, if I can't coach someone and guide them through their processes, the only thing else that I have is to share my story and my experiences with them.
That's powerful. One of the favorite things that, for me at least in training, that we talk about is getting your audience to that clear decision. And when you talk about being able to create that impact for many women when they come to events, because we're social people, right? Women, we need to gather.
Yes.
And I love that that's how you got inspired to do it, was to come to community, come to group, and be able to speak to the larger community. And in training, we talk about how really your job as a speaker is to be able to create crystal clarity, right?
Yes.
For your audience, so that there's some that know, yes, I want to work with her, and some that are like, no, I don't. And so tell me a little bit more about creating that clarity for your audience. What does that look like for you?
Well, the clarity comes from my heart, first and foremost, because I'm speaking about my stories and my journey and what I did. So for me, it's, if I'm speaking truthfully and authentically about my journey, someone out there is going to resound with it. Somebody's going to be able to say, I get it, I understand. And whether or not they want to continue the journey in coaching, they can say, if she took this one step, if I give 3 steps, 3 ideas, whatever, they can take that with them and say, I'm putting it into implementation and I'm going to give it a shot. And to me, it gives me the chills. It gives me the goosies. It means that I'm on purpose.
Yes. And that's really what speaking is all about.
Yeah.
Right? Being on purpose and being able to share our message in a way that generates that lasting positive impact for people.
Absolutely.
Now, you are a natural storyteller, and that's probably one of my most favoriteest things about you.
Thank you.
As a speaker, is you just naturally tell stories, and you don't just tell them, you show them, which is often, I find, one of the most challenging skills for a lot of speakers to begin taking in.
Yeah.
And I love how you've allowed yourself to go into the depths of your story. Have you noticed a change in your speaking since being able to go deeper within your story?
There's a calm sensation. For me, I don't know how else to explain it. It's just that certainty that, or even that vulnerability, it's a hard word for me to say, that comes out is what people relate to, right? It's not, I'm like, yes, I can go and be an actress and all that. It's probably a missed calling of mine. However, I don't like to pretend. I don't like to put up a facade. I've done that my whole adult life, practically going to work and doing shit that I don't like, excuse my language, right? But that facade, that wall came down. It's like, if I'm not feeling it, I'm not doing it, right? And I don't want to share stuff. I don't want to say things that aren't going to leave an impression on people, because we all watched Oprah, right? And we walked away going, God, I wish I was like her and doing this and doing that. Well, you know, we don't have to wish that. We could do whatever it is that inspires us.
Yes.
Right? So for me, that's just sharing my stories and being honest. And yeah, if I get into the character of being a little girl, I'll do it. Or if I'm going to pretend I'm my mom, I'll do it. I've got practice at it for so many years. Right?
Well, yes. And you're right. Story is one of the most impactful and powerful ways for us to connect. And it has been since like the creation of time as human beings, right? Like we've heard about storytellers in tribal situations and things like that. And one of the things that's so interesting to me is that the more universal you want your story to become, the more personal you have to take it. Right? You have to be willing to get vulnerable. And when you talk about creating that positive impact, which is where you are so powerful in your speaking, is you have to be willing to go into those depths. We can't kind of slide on the surface. The powerful speakers are the ones that are willing to say, hey, this is where I've been, this is what I've gone through, and this is where we need to start going.
Yeah.
So
100%.
So during your course of like stepping into more influential speaking, what do you feel has been like the biggest skill that you've learned in the process that has shifted the results or shifted something for you within your business?
Owning my story and owning my confidence and not pretending that I'm just another coach or I'm just another storyteller or just. I'm Susie. I am a person who is, or a woman, I should say, that is wanting to see all women live their best life, live their kick-ass life, make it brilliant. However it looks to you, do it. Do it. You do not need anybody to say, yes, you can. You can do it because you want to.
Yes, no more permission.
No more permission.
From everybody else, right? Like owning it yourself and taking your claim.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love that.
Shut down that negative talk, right? Then we all experience it. I still do, right? I still have it there, but I acknowledge it and I say, okay, I hear you, but you don't serve me in any way, shape, or form right now. So I'm just going to keep on doing what it is that I'm doing. Takes practice, not gonna lie, but that's what you got to do. You got to be aware of who is it that you're really listening to inside here.
Yes. And the thing is, right, like you said, we've all watched Oprah. I mean, how many times have I heard about like Brene Brown? And the thing is, every single one of us has a story, has a message, has something that can positively impact people.
Yeah.
And it's just being willing to step out of that fear. That willingness to be seen, and like you say, own your expertise, own your uniqueness in it, because there is no one else like you.
Yeah. You have to own it 100%.
That's amazing. I love that.
I do too.
Yeah. And I think that's such a powerful thing for our audience to hear is remembering to give themselves permission to simply be them. No more trying to fit a mold. No more trying to wait until somebody else says it's okay. If this is something that's calling, get out there and do it.
Get out there and do it. Exactly. And the one other thing that I can say is let go of perfectionism.
Yes.
There is no such thing. So
amen to
my
that.
motto is I am perfectly imperfect, and I love it.
Yes. So good. Right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a belief in the Japanese culture around how true beauty comes from the space of imperfection. And there's an actual word for it, but it's left my brain at this moment. But I love that idea, and it's something as humans that we need to start embracing, that recognizing that truly what makes us us, what makes us beautiful, what makes us perfect and unique in every single thing that we do is our imperfections.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I truly believe the statement that we are all born perfect, right? It's the journey that we go on after being born that changes us, and it changes our perception of who it is that we are. So if we're born perfect already, then we only become better with the lessons and and everything that it is that we do with life, but it's a mess. And that mess is where the beauty comes from. That mess is where the perfectionism reveals itself to not really exist.
Yes. And as a speaker, that is like one of the most essential pieces to be able to take on.
Yeah.
Because when we are trying to be perfect, we actually block out the connection, the true connection from our audience.
Yes.
We're not allowing ourselves to be seen, and it's in that imperfection, in our true personality, in our true state of being, our essence, that people will resonate with us more deeply. So thank you for sharing everything that you've shared. We have some more episodes coming up. We're going to be talking about some embarrassing moments as speakers next.
Yeah.
Oh yes, because we have to. We have all had them.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Can you tell us how people can find you and how people can get in touch with you?
Oh, yes. You can reach me at Susie, Susie DEG, that's D as in Donald, E as in Echo, G as in George, at TGIFreedom.com.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here today, Susie.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
As the curtains draw to a close on today's episode of the Mainstage, remember to apply the lessons learned and embrace the journey ahead. It's Meagan Fettes urging you to keep striving for excellence in your speaking endeavors and your business pursuits. Until next time, stay inspired and keep shining.